Hello and welcome back to my channel. And Mouse says hello. So some interesting things has been going on these last couple of days. A verification of my possible new guys. I really think that the transition actually did happen. So after I did this and after I uploaded my last video, I never look at the previous videos before I do my next one, but I don't know if I discussed with you what I saw in the bathroom. I know that sounds weird, but as some of you know, there's a portal in my bathroom and I see more things in there than I do almost anywhere except for my bedroom. And that sounds weird too. I'm sorry. But I'm sitting on my porcelain throne, as always, looking toward my bedroom. I saw a wide strip from one side of my door frame to the other side of energy. And I'm sitting there and just looking at it thinking, am I actually seeing that? And so I finished my business and did the paperwork. And I go over and I hold my hand out toward it. And as I did, I felt it got cooler. I didn't feel threatened or fearful or anything. So I kind of stood there for a second and I was putting my hand back and then forward and then back. And there was a temperature change. What or who it was, I don't know. But today, I don't think I'm 100% just yet, but I'm adjusting to the new energies that have came around me when I had stated I need to trade out. That sounds horrible. My guides. I do feel there is a Syrian and Arcturian. I think I have 3 new ones. I'm going off my intuition on that, but today on my way home, I saw what looked like a Syrian, which looked like a male elf. And they all look different, of course. You could be from Syrian and not look like that, or Sirius, I should say, and not look like that. So, but this one looks like it. And I do know I have another one that is a male that I thought was my soulmate, which I think is my son. And he's a beautiful male looking elf. And he's very protective of me also, very protective. He watches everything. And you're probably thinking, how do you know? Well, because I've seen him. The first time I seen him, I mentioned in one of my videos, one of my earlier videos, I went to see a man who was going to hypnotize me. And we were on his back porch and we were discussing things. And he asked a question, I don't remember what it was at this time. All of a sudden, in my third eye, I saw this beautiful man with white long hair and just like Lord of the Rings. I'm not kidding. His hair was long, straight, and it was braided on the sides and then hung down. And he had the elfin ears, or if I remember right, he did. Real pale. Slender slit eyes, kind of, not big almond eyes. They were more narrow and angled. And he looked serious. And he was looking at the hypnotist, and then he would look back at me. And then he would look back at the hypnotist. He was watching our conversation. And in my head, in my third eye, I answered that question and I said, well, I see a being right now and he's behind me over here and he's watching us. And he was like, oh, interesting. And so off and on throughout the conversation, I was watching him and he was literally just watching. And I had a feeling he was in protective mode. He was surveying the action of what was going on, I assume. And he's the one I think is one of my hybrid children. Not 100% sure. It's just kind of what I feel. And I felt that he could have been my soulmate at the time because I felt that closeness, in which is why maybe I think he's my son. But you can feel close to another entity or being and they're not immediately related to you. And then I woke up 2 nights ago, or it could have been early in the morning, I don't know, to a new entity. I think it was an entity. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but you've heard me talk about the little crab spider looking things. Keep in mind again, they're not spiders. They just look like a spider is the best way for me to describe what they are. But when they walk, they're almost kind of like mechanical. They walk on the ceiling like this, but they're not spiders. But this time, I looked toward my doorway, my bedroom, and up between the top of the doorway to the ceiling is where this entity was. I opened my eyes and looked, and I seen something there, and it was huge. Probably the width of my door frame, but over it, of course. And I'm looking at it, and I saw a red light. And when it realized, oh, she's looking at me kind of thing, it kind of detached and then moved on, and I realized it was mechanical, or it looked like it. It looked like it was metal, not real shiny, and then the way it moved, it looked mechanical. And I'm looking at it thinking, oh, that's different. I haven't seen you before. And then I just went back to sleep. And then last night, I haven't felt this in a while, which is one of the reasons why I needed to trade my guides. One is, now that I think about it, I feel like we are supposed to be doing that from time to time. I feel that one set of guides are only there to do so much. No, I'm not saying, oh, well, they're there to make sure you make it to work safe, and that is it. That's not what I'm talking about. I feel that we put them under contract to do specific things for a specific length of time. For instance, kind of guide me between the ages of 18 to 25. And then at that time, hopefully my higher self will know, which it will, hey, I need to recycle, if you want to call it that, that sounds bad too, my guides. Which is why I felt that, although it was in the back of my head, that one day when I woke up, I just knew it had to have been done. I didn't even think twice about it. I said it, done it, and it was done. That's why I felt like it was my higher self doing it. It was like a for sure thing, although it was painful emotionally because I did feel close to them, still do, of course. And I do know they pop in and out and visit me, but I grieved them in the soul state bad. And I don't know if I even put that in my last video. I know that while my body was sleeping, I did go somewhere and I remember screaming and crying. And it was like a grieving, like a loved one passed and you're in shock and you're grieving and you're screaming. I was doing that. And I felt it when I woke up that morning. I'm just like, oh, wow, I remember that. And it was, I guess, something that we had to do for me to work through it, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know how to word that. But last night, I woke up. I didn't even think I was all the way to sleep. And I hadn't said this in so long that I felt vibrations in my lower stomach and right where my breastbone is. And it was very faint but clear, and it kind of woke me up. I opened my eyes, and I want to say I saw energy in front of me. When I opened my eyes, it retracted a little bit. And so I closed my eyes real quick out of fear that it was going to leave, and I didn't want it to, and it kept going. And then I laid there and enjoyed it, and I thanked them for doing whatever they were doing. And I was grateful that they were there. And I lay there just trying to feel it as long as I could because I miss it, and I fell asleep. I feel in saying that this is another reason why I'm saying this out loud, kind of, as I know my other guides were probably saying, hey, we're done, we're all that we can do. You need to cycle to another cycle of guides. That's the best way I can describe it. Because I haven't had a visit in a while. I felt like I wasn't moving on, fulfilling my mission. So things had to change, and I feel like that's what changed. And I got a higher energy of guides that have came in. That's why it was kind of freaking me out a little bit, because it was such high energy. I was unfamiliar with it, and they adjusted me while my earth me was sleeping. But yes, I wanted to share that with you guys. I feel like I'm back on track again, or at least I hope I am. But I also wanted to share something else with you. I will show you. I got a new TV. It's a 50-inch TV. And I finally hung the picture. Finally. I had my kid's dad help me carry the TV up here because it's so big. There's no way I could have done it. And I'm like, hey, by the way, can you hang my picture? And he did. So I'm glad that that part is done, finally. So I had those two mirrors up there and I had those removed. You'll see them in my other videos. So I was able to, I got an email from the Suncoast, Space Coast Credit Union. I shouldn't say that, but I mean, how are you going to know what my account is? But anyway, my car is financed through there, and I got an email saying, hey, your account has been in good standing from day one. If you would like to skip a payment, you can. Well, I don't know why that was the first time I got that email, because the car was $26,000 when I bought it, brand new. And now it's below $10,000. And I just now got that. And I'm like, what? What took so long? Because I know when I was still married, we had that option, I think every 6 months to do that, I think. But anyway, I skipped a car payment and got this TV and got some things that I needed and wanted. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. And I will keep you updated on my surroundings, as in, you know, my visits and such. And I guess the bathroom too. That sounds so weird saying it out loud. So I hope you guys are doing well. I love you so, so much. And I'm going to send you love, light, and peace. Bye.